Yeah, hello ladies and gentlemen, this is webstudio Richter. Welcome to my new tutorial. Today we are talking about CSS pseudo-elements. We'll talk about as well some pseudo-classes, but the focus will lie on the elements. So what's actually the difference? A CSS pseudo-class specifies a special state of the element. So you will know it already from things like hover or active or focus when you are talking about links. So when you are hovering with the mouse on some kind of a text, then its state will change, like the color will change or the font size will get bigger. So this is a typical pseudo class. Other pseudo classes we will focus not here, but I will use some of them and tell you later what are they meaning. So let's come to the pseudo elements. Just like pseudo classes, pseudo elements are added to selectors, but they are not describing a special state, but they allow you to style certain parts of a document. For example, we will have a look here on the first line, first letter pseudo elements, and yeah, just get some basic examples so that you know what we are talking about. As you can see, I already made some simple HTML here. So I made a div container and put inside this div container 3 paragraphs, and inside the first paragraph I added a line break element here so that we have 2 lines in the topic. I didn't add any kind of classes or IDs, as this is so simple we won't need that, and we will use pseudo elements to get this specific HTML tags. So let's start now with some CSS. Let's have just imagine that our goal to just color this first line of the topic. So as you can see in the paragraph, we are having 2 lines. So let's have a look. We will make div and p, and normally we would just make now a color orange, for example. So as you can see, everything is orange. Now that's not what we wanted. We would of course add now a class to this or an ID, but we won't do that now. Let's have a look what other possibilities we are having. So there is the first pseudo element. It is called first line, and you can see now we still have a lot too much orange now in this text, but it's already better. This is always now the first line, and every paragraph is marked orange. So to get now just this first line of the first paragraph, we would have to add a pseudo class, and we can, this is actually the amazing thing about this, we can just combine these pseudo classes, pseudo elements. We can even combine pseudo elements with other pseudo elements, so it's very flexible. So let's just get this first child, the first paragraph, and that's all about it. That's the magic. So you see, it's just the first line in the first paragraph. The first child, the first line. We could of course use another pseudo class here. It's called first of type, but it won't change anything as we are just using one type of HTML tag, so it's all p tags. So it doesn't matter actually if we use first child, first of type. So let's get to the next pseudo element. Let's imagine you have a typically in books or in newspapers. We want this first letter to appear larger than the rest of the text. So we will just make div and p, so like always, and we will make first letter. That's a pseudo element. So it's very easy to understand actually. And we will make the font size just a bit larger, 1.2 em. So, and as you can see, okay, I will make it a bit more. Yeah, as you can see, in all the 3 paragraphs I made here, we are having the first letter now larger than the rest of the text. So that's amazing actually, but we have the same problem like the last time. We just want to talk to the second paragraph now. So how we can do this? This is another pseudo class what we can use. It is called nothing of, not nothing, excuse me, it's ends of type, and we combine it with a pseudo element first letter, and it is ends of type n is here too. So you can see that's all about it. So the ends of type selector matches every element that is the nth child of a particular type. This n can as well be like a formula. So example, if you just want to have all odd elements, so 1, 3 and 5, you could just do 2n plus 1. So in this you have now the first and the third element marked. So the opposite would just now be 2n, but here it's enough. We just want this second paragraph. So let's have a look at another very often used pseudo element. It's called before and after. So imagine you want to have, it's a subtext here, some kind of an adding, some kind of another spot. So in this tag I want to just have a text here which is called this is a subtext, without changing the HTML actually. So we will go and make div p, and as we already talked about the first of type and first child pseudo class, we can use here the last child pseudo class. We could of course in this case again use last of type as it's all paragraphs. And we are using now the pseudo element after. So what we are gonna do is with this after pseudo element, this pseudo element actually matches a virtual last child of the selected element. So we can use now here some cosmetic content. For example, we can say, let's make this content, this is a subtext. So you see it's already appeared here. To make it more pretty, we just make a white space and some arrow. So you see it's actually adding just virtual text. So it's not HTML. So it's just virtually added. Not to forget about it. And what is important as well, these after and before, just make a before out of it. So you see we have to change now the arrow that it will make sense. Before and after are typically inline elements. So if you want to change this, you have to make here display block. But that's not our topic now. To make it a bit prettier, we can just make the font size to 1.8 em. So, and that's actually all about it. So, just to remember, pseudo elements are typically to style special parts of an document. So the first letter, the first line, or the before or after an element. In combination with pseudo classes like last child, nothing of ends of type, or first of type, it is perfect and you are getting full control of your HTML page. So if you want to have a complete list of especially the pseudo classes, where we just used here now just 3 of them, I will give you some link in the description below this video to the Mozilla documentation There they are all described pretty well, and you can just try them out. So that's actually all about it. I hope you learned something again. I'm looking forward for your comments, and yeah, have a nice time. Goodbye. See you.